Just the other day, as part of the marketing for the soon-to-launch Disney Plus streaming service, Disney released a full list of every title that will be available to stream on launch day. They tweeted every single title, as well as posted a 3-hour-long video teasing everything the service will offer. A lot of people are already starting to think about what they'll watch first, what they'll rewatch for the first time in years, and what they'll check out for the first time ever. It got me thinking, how long would it take to watch everything Disney Plus will have to stream on day one? I don't like burying answers. It'll take a long time. Watching every single film and television episode offered on Disney Plus on launch day would take 3,931 hours, or 163.8 days. If you treat that like a full-time job, clocking in at 9 and out at 5, that would stretch out to over 491 days. Alright, video over. Bye everyone. Just kidding. Let's look at some ways those numbers break down. Before we do though, let me offer a preface. When it comes to television, these numbers make the assumption that every episode of every show listed will be on the service. That might not end up being the case, due to perhaps licensing issues with episodes here and there, or perhaps Disney will wait a while to put new seasons of current shows up there, but I wanted to mention it either way. These numbers also exclude 6 original Disney Plus shows and 2 original movies, of which we don't yet know the exact runtime. Since Disney has announced that they'll be releasing episodes for new shows on a weekly basis instead of all at once, then we can at least estimate that in total it's maybe an extra 9 or 10 hours of day one content that isn't accounted for. Okay, so that said, let's look at some of those numbers. Splitting it up between television and film, the service is going to offer 501 movies on day one and 132 television shows. The movies will run a total of 757.6 hours long, or 31.5 days, just slightly over 1 full month. As for television, those 132 shows will be comprised of 3,310 episodes, totaling 3,173.4 hours of content, or just over 132 days. An average of 1 show per day seemed off to me at first, but it's ultimately because there are a number of shows that were a 1 to 3 episode miniseries, or short-lived shows that never made it past 10 episodes. In any case, in terms of pure hours, television will make up the lion's share of the platform. The longest film in their day one library will be the 1965 classic The Sound of Music, at 2 hours and 54 minutes long. Shortest film gets a little messy because you've got made-for-TV films and direct-to-DVD stuff, but if we're looking at theatrical releases, the 2011 Winnie the Pooh movie clocks in at just 63 minutes long, which beats out the original Dumbo by 1 whole minute. Of course, for television, the longest running series is The Simpsons at 31 seasons and over 664 episodes. Now, what I found interesting was the content distribution by decade. Each following decade is longer than the previous one, which I suppose isn't that much of a shock. It gets a little harder to measure though when you consider some shows, such as The Simpsons, which is present in 4 decades. So if we pull that show out of the list as an outlier, because let's be honest, there's nothing quite like The Simpsons, you'd end up with a gradual increase right up until the 2010s when it skyrockets. I think that happens for a few different reasons. The easy explanation is that there's just more content now than there was in the past. Today we think of Disney as this international behemoth of a media company, but up until the 90s that really wasn't the case. They had plenty of cultural capital with Mickey Mouse and Disney classics, but in terms of size, they were just a regular studio. More importantly though, and this is also speculative, I think it's a reflection of when the media industry began to think ahead about streaming. While it's easy to assume that since Disney owns all of their content that they would have no issue streaming any of it, that isn't always the case. When a studio licenses a third-party song or clip for a show, they usually have to specify the details of how that show will be distributed. It's just a part of the business. But it gets messy 20 to 30 years down the line when an entirely new form of distribution is invented and they don't have the rights to use the song or clip in that form of distribution. Older television shows sometimes ran into this issue when it came to their DVD release, because they were originally produced at a time when DVDs didn't exist. In some cases, it meant the show couldn't be released on DVD, and in others, it forced the creators to actually go back and take out the music. Netflix really threw video streaming into the mix in 2007, and while Disney wasn't diving headfirst into that world right away, it was the kind of shift in media that forced companies to pay attention to streaming distribution rights when they made new movies or television shows. So personally, I suspect there's just more content from the 2010s with clear-cut rights that make it easier to stream. Whatever the reason, that skewed distribution of content doesn't change the fact that it's still a lot of content. Oh, and if you're wondering about the value of all that media, at $7 a month for Disney Plus, you'd be paying just under 1/5 of a cent per month for each hour of content on the platform. However, if you were one of the lucky ones to get the D23 Founders Circle promotion, which was 3 years of Disney Plus for $141, then you're only paying 1/10 of 1 cent per hour of content per month. Now, the one question I can't answer: if you are getting Disney Plus come November, what are you going to be watching first? Thanks for watching. To offer full disclosure, since I'm sure it comes off as otherwise, I was not paid or compensated in any way by Disney to make this video. I just have that much free time on my hands apparently. Though, Disney, if you want to cut me a check, I certainly won't say no. Call me.